Hi guys, and welcome back to another video of Coding for Kids. Today we're going to be doing our first review, so let's get into it. Okay, so open up Visual Studio, and the first thing I want you to do is click on Create a New Project. Okay, Console. I want you to select Console App at the top, then click Next. Then when you get to the project name, I want you to type in capital R, Review 1. Okay, then click Next. Okay, then I want you to make sure it's on .NET 6.0, and then I want you to make sure, this is very important, make sure that this box underneath is got a tick. If it doesn't, click it. Then click Create. Okay, now we're into our Review 1 project. I want you to notice that there's a namespace called Review 1, and there's an open parenthesis, open curly bracket and a closed curly bracket, and then there's a class which has an open curly bracket and a closed curly bracket, and then there's a function called main which has an open curly bracket and a closed curly bracket. Okay, now if we just click play, it's going to write the line hello world. Okay, so C# projects always start at main, at the main function. So let's delete this. And we're going to create a superhero. Okay, so our superhero is going to have a name, a power number, and a bool called good. And if it's true, he's the good superhero, and if it's false, he's a bad superhero. Okay, so first up, I want you to write a string, which is a name. So let's type string, and then let's call it name. Then we want to equals, and then let's call, we want to do an 2 parentheses and a semicolon at the end, and then inside the, inside the parentheses, the quotations, I want you to write the superhero's name. So let's do Goku. Alright, so let's type Goku. Alright, that's our string. Now we want to do an int, which is power, and we want to make it equal to 3000. So you want to do int, and then spell the word power, equals 3000, because int's a number, and then a semicolon at the end, then do int, and then we want to do a bool, which is good, and we'll make it equal to true, semicolon. Okay, next we want to do an if-else statement. So let's do if, open parenthesis, good, close parentheses, then hit enter. Then we want to do open curly bracket, close curly bracket, and then inside that we want to write console dot write line. Then open parenthesis, close parenthesis, semicolon. Okay, and then we want to do a $sign. Then our 2 quotations. And what the $sign means in front of the 2 quotations, it means we're allowed to enter variables inside of this. And the way we do variables inside of that is we do curly brackets. Open curly bracket, close curly bracket. And then inside there, we can type name. So that's going to say Goku is a good hero. And then we do comma. His power is open close curly brackets. Type in power. And it's going to take this variable power and it's going to say, I want to put 3000 in there because we set the 3000. Alright. And we want to copy this line. And then underneath the close curly bracket for the if statement, you want to type else. Then we want to hit enter, open close curly bracket, and then we want to paste that line in there again. But instead of good, I'm going to say he's a bad hero. So now, if we run this code, you shouldn't have any curly lines underneath anything. If you do, you've missed a curly bracket, or you haven't spelt something correctly, or you didn't put a capital where it was supposed to be a capital, or a lowercase where it was supposed to be a lowercase letter. So just double check everything, go over what I've written here, and you should be good. So hit, once it all works, just click this play button. And it should say Goku is a good hero. His power level is 3000. Okay, so that's the first part. Next part is we want to turn these variables and put it into a object. Okay, and the object's going to be superhero. So I want you to come over here to the project, which is represented by a box with a C and a hash inside it. And I want you to right click on it, go to add, and then click on class. And then I want you to type superhero.cs to create a class. And then I want you to change it from internal to public. And I'm going to create the three variables that we did outside. We're going to do public, string, and because it's in a class and it's a member variable, we do underscore name semicolon. And we do same for the power. So it's going to be an int, public int underscore power. And underneath that, we want to do public bool underscore good semicolon. Alright, so that's our three variables for this class. Now we want to create our constructor, which is going to set these variables to what values we want. And the way we do that is we do public space the name of the class, which is superhero, open parentheses, and then we want to put our three variables that we want to pass in. So we're going to do string, name, semicolon, int, power, semicolon, bool, space, good, and then close parentheses, and then hit enter. Then we're going to do open curly bracket, close curly bracket, enter. Then we want to set underscore name to name, underscore power to power, and underscore good to good. Okay. So if your code looks exactly like this, you've done it perfect. If you have some squiggly lines, like I said, you got to double check. Make sure you have a open curly bracket, only one for the namespace, only one for the class, only one for the constructor, and then you got to close, and then you got to close, and then you got to closed. Okay. And make sure you got capitals where they're supposed to be capitals and lower cases where they're supposed to be lower cases. Okay, so if it looks exactly like this, let's go back to our program.cs. And now we want to delete this information. So just highlight it and delete it. And instead come across here and type superhero. And then we'll call it superhero, all one word. So make sure it's a lowercase s, UPER, capital H, ER01, equals, and then to create an object you do new, superhero, open close parentheses, and now this, and then do a semicolon. Now in here is where we need to pass the parameters that we want to put in for our constructor that we created that's going to set our variables in our class. So we want to do the name first, which is going to be Goku. And after that, we want to do a power level, 3000. And then after that, we want to say, is he good or bad? We're going to say true because he's good, right? Now, let's take this variable, this object called superhero1, right, which we set these values for. And if we come here in the if statement, just highlight the good by clicking on it. and type in superhero 1 and then do period and then do underscore good. Now that's going to look at this object and say, hey, what did you set underscore good to? And if we come across here, we're going to say, oh, look, we set true to good. So it's going to say true there. And we're going to take this and then we're going to highlight name, and instead of that, do superhero1 dot underscore name and do it for the rest of them. So come here to power. Oops. Type superhero period underscore power. Oh, superhero1. Alright. And same here. Dot underscore name. And the same here. Oh, look, it did it for us. Alright, now it's going to take all the parameters from this object and it's going to grab the good, it's going to grab the name, it's going to grab the power, and let's run it. And it says Goku is a good hero. He's power level 3000. Alright, now the reason we do this is because now, because we have a class, we can create as many objects as we want. So let's create superhero number 2. And let's call him the Joker. Alright, so Joker. And we'll give him a power level of 200. And is he good? No. So we'll say false, because he's not good. Now, if we just come here and just instead of superhero 1, change 1 to 2. And do that everywhere. 2. And we come back here and do 2. And then the same here. We do 2. We do this. We do 2. And we run the code. It's going to take all the superhero 2 values. Look, it says Joker is a bad hero. His power level's 200. And that's why we create objects. Okay, so if you can do all this, you're in good shape. If you struggle to do all this, and you feel like you can't do this on your own, I suggest you keep watching this video over and over again. Just come here, highlight inside of the curly brackets of the main, and delete it. Then come over here on the superhero class, right click, and then go delete. Hit OK, and restart the video, and just keep doing this over and over again. These are all the tools you're going to need to write your video game. And if you're struggling with this, you're going to struggle a lot more as we go further. So it's really important to focus on these skills and make sure you can do this without thinking, and it's very quick, and you're going to be in great shape for the rest of the tutorial. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.